Sold pretty ridiculously well on the.
What's this?
What's this?
Your what was it? The Jack thing.
I think that would have been. My little. I think it nearly would qualify for a haiku without me knowing.
I think it would have. Can you find it and read it back to the people at home?
Yeah.
Because I must admit, as I copped a hell of a lot. I'll just go a little bit into me.
Yeah.
But I remember waking up the next day, dreading turning on my phone. Absolutely dreading it. Like it had died at like 10 o'clock the night before, and I was just like, nah, don't want to deal with this. Not gonna look at it. Turn it back on. 6 messages, about 10 fucking Facebook notifications. All of them like mum saying, "Are you okay?"
No, "Are you okay?" message.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
A text from Willis saying, asking if I kicked any poles.
Need a hug?
A couple from Rudy saying, "Cop that."
Because it was what Tigers on the
Yeah,
front page. Front page, not even back page.
No.
I mean, how are all
That's
the
some serious media assassination.
It really, they fucking love going after us, man.
how's the acronym poetry that garnered?
That was
from
pretty
everyone?
good, yeah.
So Tigers, terrible, insipid, gutted, easy beat, rotten shambles. Whoever wrote that, you're a cunt.
Yeah.
I know.
That's so
That's
harsh.
mean. How mean?
How mean is that?
Because it's funny.
Front page of the paper,
Wait, Jack,
too.
I'll let you have a read, because that was my question for you.
That's the meanest comment you heard all week. That, for sure.
Yeah,
That's the meanest one.
Because that's what made me think of it.
Wait a minute.
The meanest idea I've heard floated all week is that we need to trade Deledio.
Yeah,
Are
we'll
you
get to
fucking
Tiger talk.
bonkers?
We'll get to Tiger
yeah,
talk.
hang on.
But anyway,
So this one, well, we had Jack, and whereas they had Tigers, we jumped off the wagon, absent from the game, cried probably, kicked another pole.
It was pretty good.
Jack's
You wouldn't have liked it.
I only
liked
kicked
it.
a seat.
Yeah,
Love
kicked a couch.
Then
I
I was-
actually kicked a couch and it fell over. But it was a little couch, and it didn't cause any damage to me or said couch.
Did you slam dunk a midget?
Was it the angry
No
couch?
slam and dunking. Yeah, it was. It was the angry couch.
Was that one?
Yeah, he was looking at me, like just staring at me with his angry couch eyes,
Yeah.
judging me. I knew he was mocking me.
Yeah.
All right,
So,
all right. We'll get to Tiger
So
talk
have you
later.
teed it up? All right. So, what? Well, we've always had a bit of
Wrestling vibe.
Yeah.
wrestling.
We're all
flavour.
We're all
old
fans.
wrestling
Everyone's
fans.
like wrestling at one
At
stage.
one
of their
stage,
life.
yeah, everyone's got
Definitely.
into a certain era.
And
you're
if
a
you
boy.
haven't, you're a square or you're a chick.
Yeah. Yeah, chicks, I suppose. But, I don't know, man, I've always thought it spoke to a kid.
Yeah.
And a teenager. And as an adult now, I don't think I pay attention to anything that comes through regular wrestling. Except Daniel Bryan, I liked him.
You're pretty
You know-
well informed though.
yeah.
You do keep up to date with
I keep
everything
up to-
wrestling without watching
You had a
it.
bit of a spike
Yeah,
with the
I don't
whole...
watch it anymore.
You had a
but
bit of a spike with the whole Danny Bryan
Daniel
thing.
Bryan thing
Yeah,
got me
that's
back
right,
into it
you
a little
did
bit.
spike
Yeah,
it.
You love your little yeses.
yeah, I love the yeses.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I haven't really paid much attention.
But there is a man who has.
Yeah, and this
That's
is
it.
so. This is going to be our weekly correspondent on the world of wrestling, and maybe not so much on what's happening there, but just
Weekly?
yeah, I reckon weekly.
Since when did you announce weekly?
Oh, prior, but you know.
Oh, we'll talk about that off air. But this is our first interview. First interview with what did we call him?
Oh,
We had a name for
did.
Delicious Nick.
have you got his little theme song?
Yeah. Oh, I've got his cue lined up. But yeah,
Oh,
tell
here
us
we
a
go.
bit. We
No,
have
no.
spoken to him before.
Yeah. Well, what was his name? It was Ravishing was definitely in there.
I think Ravishing was definitely in there. We're talking about Nick, by the way, folks.
Yep.
He has called us up before.
Nicky Billing. He's grandpa, or no, his dad's brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, dad's brother. I'm pretty sure, maybe. Nah, It was his grandpa. It was his grandpa. It was his old man's dad.
But-
He was a 1966 Premiership player for St Kilda.
Oh, really?
There you
Yeah.
go.
Well, there you go.
Nice
it.
little connection.
But we're gonna have a little bit of a wrestling thing. So we're gonna introduce him with his favorite music.
Yeah, we'll think of his name later.
All right, so what's his name, Marsh? Well, let's play it for Nick. And it's for Nick.
Yeah.
And have a listen and
Nicky
see
Billy.
if you like it. And if you have any wrestling
Nick,
questions,
So, most people give up on wrestling once they're past, 16?
12 years old.
Past 12, yeah. So, but you carried the torch for, how young are you?
How young am I? 30 years young.
That's it.
30 years young.
Lovely.
It's still real to me.
So, what's kept you interested in wrestling?
Well, I actually lost interest in wrestling at about the age of, I guess, 13, 14. So yeah, it would have been post that Attitude Era where most people who did watch wrestling would remember. So the boom period. So I think it was about maybe 2001, 2002, maybe when I was at that age the girls became more interesting. And I actually stopped watching it, and I didn't pick it up until my first child was born, purely because there was nothing else to do but watch wrestling, because I couldn't really go out that much.
So what year would that have been?
2000. I started kind of casually watching again in 2011 after I saw, I think it was on Wide World of Sports or something like that. And there was a guy called CM Punk that I'd heard of ages ago, because I sort of briefly watched it every now and then because I had a friend who was still obsessed.
Yeah.
And he did this promo where he just absolutely tore the company to shreds and just ripped on them real hard. So it was pretty groundbreaking at the time. And I, obviously, having history of wrestling and knowing wrestling, that stood out to me. And I was like, cool, looks like it might be interesting again.
Okay, so that's interesting, because for a lot of the casual wrestlers, observers, the Attitude Era would have been one that was pretty profound. So it's interesting that that was the one time that you had your bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, about 10 years.
There you go. All right, so who's the next rising star in wrestling and why?
So the next rising star in wrestling, their star is only shining very dimly at the moment. Well, actually, that's not true.
What was it?
Hey?
What's his name?
His name's Finn Balor.
Finn Balor.
So he's an Irish guy. He's not actually even that young. I think he's about 32, 33 years old. Mm-hmm. He's been in the business for a very long time, but he wrestled in Japan for most of his career. He's an Irish guy, I think I mentioned that. So, but yeah, he wrestled mostly in Japan and through UK and Europe, so he never really scratched the surface of WWE. So now he's currently in their developmental brand, which is NXT, which is where they bring up their young guys, which is actually probably better than the main show. Yeah. And he's just killing it there, and he's got all the right looks. He can wrestle, and I think once he hits the main roster, kids will love him because he's got the theatrics and all the rest of that. The ladies will love him because he's handsome as shit. And yeah,
has he got a dynamic finisher?
He does have a dynamic finisher. It looks as if it could kill you. He jumps off the top rope and stomps. I think it's usually on their stomach or on their back. So it's pretty impressive. I think you could do some damage if you mess that one up.
Yeah. Sid Vicious styles.
Yeah, break your leg in half.
Yeah, nice. Well, what about 3 present day wrestling superstars?
Okay, so yeah, that was a little bit of a taster of some of our time talking to Nick, and we might update you every once in a while with, if anyone's got any wrestling questions. I know I've probably got a couple. I wouldn't mind Nick's expert opinion.
Yeah. Do you feel a bit like, what the fuck's with you when someone asks, like, when you say you mention you like wrestling, that they go, oh, it's fake, right? Do you kind of think, of course you fuckhead, we know that.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I mean, there was a time as a kid
everyone knew it was fake as a kid.
But I don't know, there was a time as a kid I defended it.
I still didn't mean that I loved it any less.
Nah.
I loved it. It was fucking just entertainment.
Mankind was my bloke
theatrical.
to dispel any non-believers. I'm like, alright, can you fake jumping off a
Hang on a
cage?
sec, Marsh.
Stone Cold Steve Austin taught me how to flip someone the bird.
Jack, are you saying you did once believe it was real?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of like
didn't?
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
So when was your Santa Claus bust? When did you find out that it was... or when did you trigger
I think it was
fake?
one of the kids I watched it with was like, I think his older brother. Yeah, his
adults
older brother
ruined it
did
for
it.
me.
I think it was
Really?
his older brother, like his
Yeah.
17 or 18-year-old brother, would have ruined it for us. I think we were watching it, and he's coming. He's like, "Fucking, it's fucking fake, man." He's like, "No, it's not. Look, we're
Really?
hit with the chairs." And then like he
That's
told us
tender.
about the razor blade trick.
Yeah,
Because that's what they, they carry a razor
Yeah.
blade in their boots, and when they get hit with a chair and they're on the ground, they just go the old cut on the head.
Just watch the rest.
And you can actually, and I remember he showed us one piece. It was like you can really see the arm go up there, and I was like, bummer.
Yeah, it wasn't an exact precise moment for me, but it was like the commentary was building up from all the naysayers
Yeah.
that I'd previously been able to block out, and they weren't as rapid because when you were young, the only people that you really, whatever.
You're not going to shut over.
Anyways, so
Yeah, but
like,
it didn't
see,
spoil
I'm
my
watching it
enjoyment.
more and more. I'm scrutinising the punches, and like, he
Yeah.
didn't hit him then.
Yeah,
He didn't hit him
and you
then.
see the
And there were
stomps
a few wrestlers. Like I remember the one Billy Gunn. He sold his punches way too heavy.
Yeah, I
he
know.
pretty much jumped up and down on the
Yeah.
ground doing this one.
Yeah.
But you know, one moment where I freaked out because I've always knew it was kind of fake, even when I was like 10 or 11 when I was watching it heaps, right? But the one moment that made me think, "Fuck, is this for real? Like maybe for real?"
Yeah.
Was when Jake the Snake brought out the Cobra against the Macho Man Randy Savage,
Yeah.
and it fucking it bit him on the arm. You
Yeah.
never saw the fangs, so it must have been defanged. But it bit him on the arm when he was tied up against the ropes in
Yeah.
front of Elizabeth and everything.
Yeah,
And the
Elizabeth
Undertaker
would
was
be
in it.
squealing.
Fuck, that was the worst thing. And like, I remember, I really want to see that fucking movie too
Yeah.
about Jake the Snake.
Yeah,
but I
no
remember
doubt.
thinking in that, man,
Yeah,
that was
anyways.
crazy.
Anyway, we'll get back to the.
So yeah.
Finally, it's Tiger time. Meow.
Oh, do you have a sound grab?
No sound grab, but yeah, Tiger time. Shut up. Just let me. All right. Nah, mate. I've been kicked down a peg or two, to be fair.
No,
But you know, down here, it's all right. I'm not as. It's interesting this year. I haven't been as emotionally invested, so it hasn't like ruined my week like it probably did last year or the year before when we had a shit start.
Yeah.
That was just a write-off. Like the whole week, I'd just be depressed until game day came, and I'd be excited for about 3 hours, and then get depressed again. Now the excitement's sort of coming in a little bit earlier, and also I'm taking a little leaf out of your book
Yeah.
and trying to pay attention to the young guys,
Yeah, that's what all about.
which is what you got to do. And
The Switch.
there's some nice roses in there.
Yeah.
But you know, I think we're top 4 is still a possibility. You know, there's some really
What?
yeah. There's some really nice draft picks up in the top 4.
Yes.
Top 4 of the draft pick area.
Yeah, that's right. That's a great place to be. Think about all them juicy little picks and trades you can do.
Nah, listen. I think we're going to turn it around. And I heard one commentator who actually said something a little bit level-headed. Is before he jumped all over us is that this is really a start of season news cycle and has been for the last 4 years with this team. Is that it happened last year, it happened the year before, and it's always the same articles about how they fucked up their recruiting strategy by going after these Moneyball players, and that it didn't work, and that they'd gone after these mature age recruits that weren't going to help us. Same articles coming out now, same players they're going after. Literally, you could take an article from 2014 and what?
Here comes the sabotage.
Fucking sabotage? No, it's Tiger time.
What about that?
No. Later, after Tiger time.
After Tiger time, alright, go on.
Fucking, what is that? Mate, I'm firing up now.
There you
Right,
go.
here we go.
There you go. There you
Help
go.
me.
Play your
Ladies and
song,
gentlemen.
play your song, mate.
Fucking
No one wants to
hell,
listen
my
to
son.
your Tiger dribble.
For my son. Wait, no, but I was speaking clearly and you throw me off
I
like
throw you a
that.
message and then you try and hit me.
Coming round again, slowly creeping in, time at its command. Soon enough it comes, settles in its place, shadow in my face. pressure in my day.